Okay, y'all, here's a recap from our lesson the other night. The swing on the left is one of the very first swings Vic took when she first got there when I was videoing her. And then the swing on the right obviously is one of the ones after we had started working on the shoulders. And it's one of the better ones. And sync these two swings up so you can see very clearly what the barrel's doing and what we were trying to accomplish. If you look at how the swings are working, and you can see clearly the difference in how the barrel is working. If you notice the swing on the right, how the barrel is coming down to level, leveling out in the hitting zone with the ball. Where the swing on the left, you can see is looping underneath the ball and then having to come back up. That's an uppercut, too much of an uppercut swing. It's also a longer swing. If you'll notice, if I draw a line from the end of the bat in both sequences, excuse me, let me draw it all the way down here, there we go, to the ground, how far behind the back foot that line is. And even though the bucket's in the way here on this one, you can still get a feel for how much shorter this swing on the right is. In other words, how much closer the barrel is to the ball when Vic gets that barrel into the same position in relation to the swing. And so, in other words, all I'm saying is this swing on the right is much shorter and quicker to the ball than the swing on the left. And so what we were trying to clear up at the lesson is this long loopy swing, which causes a lot of top spin hits, a lot of pop-ups, because if you're late and you make contact back in here, you're under the ball. If you make contact out front, you're on top of the ball and you hit a top spin grounder. Notice the barrel path, or the barrel path on the swing on the right, how much more level the bat is through the hitting zone out near the front foot, which give you a better, more consistent contact. Plus, she's going to have more power too, because you can see at this position on the swing on the left, her wrists are already uncocking as the barrel's getting away from the shoulder. As it's coming around, so she's sort of coming around the ball. You can see the barrel going over towards the screen, right, even actually as she's making contact. Whereas the swing on the right, you can see the barrel's actually going down the line or through the ball a little bit longer. So you can also see how much quicker the barrel gets out in front on the swing on the right. So this swing on the right is a much better swing. Notice the difference in body position at contact. She has more of a tilt in this swing on the left, more of a body tilt backwards, like so, whereas the swing on the right, a much more upright posture, which is what you want to be able to swing more level. So how did we accomplish all this? By focusing on what the shoulders are doing. If you look at the swing on the left, you'll see the front shoulder coming up sooner and the back shoulder dropping sooner. The one on the right, the shoulders stay more level longer, and that's what she's got to accomplish. As she's striding, she's got to keep her shoulders, front shoulder down, and as she's swinging, she's got to keep her shoulders more level. The thought process that we talked about was, as you're striding, take your front shoulder towards the ball, which is pretty good there. She could actually do it even better. And as you're swinging, take your back shoulder to the ball, and you can see she accomplishes both of those very well on the swing on the right. She keeps working on it, she'll do even better, but that's a pretty solid swing there on the right. Notice the swing on the left. If I go through the same sequence, focus on the right front shoulder, excuse me. Notice how it never really moves to the ball. She's torquing back, which is good, but she never really shifts her weight forward, moving her front shoulder to the ball. And consequently, the back shoulder starts dropping before she ever really even starts her hands. And by the time she starts her hands, her shoulders are way tilted, which makes that barrel drop way below the ball. Bottom line is we want to level that swing out and get it more, get it shorter. So how are we going to do this? Stacy, as I was mentioning earlier, you know, when you're practicing on your own, what you might want to try to do if you have two tees like what we talked about is put a tee up here about waist high like we got here out in front of the front foot. We've got it pretty far out in front of the front foot there after she's already strided. And again, notice that it's about waist high right in here. All right. Now, what I would do is I would set another tee up and notice how the barrel is pretty much, the bottom of the barrel is pretty much even with the ball. I may drop down maybe an inch or so below, maybe 2 at the most, below the front ball, and put another tee right back here with the ball right at the top, pretty much right here in this vicinity, which is maybe a couple inches below the top of the ball. Okay, would be a couple inches below this ball, and let's say 6 or 8 inches back from it, and have her hit the front ball, not the back ball. Miss the back ball. So in other words, as she's coming in with the barrel, she has to come in missing the ball that would be on that tee right there and hitting the ball that's out front. And if she drops below the ball at all, like she is on the left, she's going to hit the rear ball. And so I would set that up and have her do 1,000 or more swings, just getting the feel of that and burning that muscle memory into her body. Okay. The other drill I talked about is a wrist drill, and I can't demonstrate it, but I can show you kind of what I'm talking about right here, and that is, and you can do this by a soft toss or off the tee. Put her in this position like you see on the right here, where the bat, actually you can put it more up around near the shoulder at this point, but you want the knob pointed outward towards the pitcher, and the wrist to be still cocked, and then throw a ball out front or have one off the tee and just have her use a wrist to hit with. So it's basically from right about in here to right about in there, and just do, you know, lots of repetitions of basically working the wrist snap part of the swing. Get used to really using those wrists out front, because you see on the left she's really uncocking her wrist too early is what she's doing here, and not keeping the barrel close to the shoulder as she's moving the hands forward, which is the sign of the wrist being cocked. So work on the wrist cock drill as well, right through there. Work on that tee drill a lot. I'm talking, maybe 1,000 reps in the next 2 weeks or more if you can do it. Maybe 50 a day, or I don't know, whatever she can stomach. But if you can get her swinging like this, like the picture on the right in the game, I mean, that is fine looking form right there. And if she can get to where she's swinging like that in the game, then she is going to really be rocking and rolling. Okay.